Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to USUK's The Weekly Bazaar, a show where we take a look at the most bizarre trending news stories from around the world. I'm your host, Alex Whiteley, and joining me today I've got, of course, are my Weekly Bazaar co-hosts. And introducing to you, we invited her on one of our early shows as a guest, and we haven't been able to get rid of her since. This is our very own Lucy Orchard. And joining us this week is a guy that was poorly last week. He's still on probation after we've had a sit down and a talk about his health and his sickness levels. Is our resident scientist, Mr. Shane Shebsey. How's
it going, Shane? Good evening, guys. How you doing?
How are you? It's great to all be back together, right?
Yeah, all back together and in good health. Yeah.
Back together again.
Actually, I'm not feeling too well, so bye, guys.
I wasn't feeling too great earlier. I got to say, I've had a busy couple of days, but you know what? I had a bit of a nap. I had a nap. I'm not afraid to say it. I had a bit of a siesta and woke up feeling a bit better. So, yeah, we're ready to rock. We're ready. That's how you do it, Shane. You see, when you're feeling poorly, you just take a break for a bit and then
just take a power nap.
Muscle on through.
Yeah. Fuck off.
How's the old lorries going, Lucy? All good?
Well, I used to even when I was driving rigids, I always used to have a cab that had a bed in it. It's called like you have a day cab, or you have a cab that has a bed in it. And at the moment, I'm driving a cab without a bed in it, and it means I can't have a nap at lunch. And I have to say, I'm a much nicer person with a cheeky nap at lunchtime.
It seems naps all around are required, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that seems like the theme of the day is go and have a nap, people. You know, I do miss that though. When Timmy was a baby, we'd go and have a nap in the afternoon with him because when it was nap time for him, we'd all go too. You know, because
that's what they say when you have a baby. When they sleep, you sleep because you're not going to get any other chance.
Yeah, that's true, man. Yeah.
Does that work the same with the fur baby?
With the fur, yeah. I'm constantly. If I've got 4 cats, I'm constantly asleep at any one time.
You're constantly roaming the streets as well, looking for sex. That's what cats do.
Shane, I told you not to tell everybody about that. With sleep, though, there was a scientist who did an amazing article a couple of years ago on how people should be given more respect for getting sleep. So, like, if you lose weight or if you exercise a lot, you can post, "Oh, I just did a 3K run" or whatever. And people are like, "Oh, that's amazing." You should be able to brag about sleep because the more sleep you get, the better you are health-wise and mentally. And he really did say that there's a stigma about it. If you said, "Oh, like you go, I overslept," well, maybe it's because you needed to.
Yeah, people call it lazy, don't they? Because you're getting enough sleep.
Yeah. Half man, half mattress, what they used to call me.
I can imagine that walking into the boardroom. And why are you late, Mr. Whiteley? Because I had a nap. Actually, have you know? Oh. Bravo, Mr. Whiteley. Bravo, Mr. Whiteley. Well done.
I used to get that when I was doing long distance European stuff. We'd pull in just because you have to have a 45-minute break. May as well make it an hour usually. And by the time the key has stopped, like the truck had stopped, and they sort of all going, "Oh, you going to the services to get a drink?" I was already out.
Out like a light.
I'll tell you what, there's nothing more smug than a lorry driver who knows their rights. I remember when I worked at Tesco a few years ago, and there was a lorry parked over like 8 spaces. It was like 12 o'clock at night, and my manager was like, "Go and tell him to move." So we had to, as security guards, had to waddle up, go and move him. He was like, "I'm off the clock, mate. I can't move. The law couldn't fucking move me, mate." And I was like, "Okay then, right. See you later. Have a great rest." You know, so must be the best feeling in the world. I've got a couple of comments coming through on the Facebook feed that we can't see because for some reason StreamYard are withholding comments from us. I want to say hi to my son Leon who's watching. How's it going, Leon? And to Andy Imhoff, our Andy from Imhoff. How's it going, Andy? He says woohoo, and of course we got Drew here. Who says, Drew Peacock says, "Good evening, guys."
Good evening.
Well, let's kick off the show because we've got a few great news stories to talk about. Now, the first one I'm going to start off with because I think it's a good idea. Did I open it up? Yes, I do. I want to start off the puns with something that I think will be a lot of fun. Our first news story is this one from Aussie Man. Are you guys aware of who Aussie Man is?
Isn't he the guy that does the news stories in an Australian accent and in a sweary way?
Very, very sweary. He's he's brilliant. Yeah, he does. Yeah. And his news story here comes and says Canadian police seize $150 $450 million in weed, weapons, and fucking kangaroos, Mike. Were
the kangaroos fucking? That's what I wanted to know when I read this story. Was it just him saying fucking kangaroos, or were the kangaroos actually
Alex, do
fucking?
you think Shane is obsessed by sex tonight? So far, it's...
Yeah, mate. Sorry. I've had too many cocodamols. I'm really horny.
Well, this is going to take an interesting turn when Shane stands up and just starts beating off in front of the camera like, I've had cocodamol. We'll have it no other way, Shane. You be you. You be you. Right. So not only is Aussie Man great with his videos and he does cover a lot of fun stories, but he writes his blogs in his own words, which is really funny. So it's literally says here, it's Mike. Oh my God, what the fuck's going on here? They've signed me up Zoom. I take it Jamie and Tom are interviewing tonight for the USUK Chronicles, which you should definitely check out. He says, mate, some shit you just can't make up. Dead set. Have you seen this shit? Cops in Canada, he actually writes Canada, have arrested 37 people, seized a metric fuck ton of pot, nabbed a bunch of weapons, and taken 3 fucking kangaroos into custody. That went cockney. Seriously, have a bloody squiz at this shit. And then it goes on to the actual article. It says it all went down in New York. We're not too sure where that is, but considering the nature of the story, we can only believe the joint's fucking heckers. A
bit of Aussie slang there.
The arrest came as part of an investigation called Project Green Sweep. That a lot of thought was put into that, wasn't it, guys? Green Sweep. Okay. It says top secret mission Green Sweep. Okay. You keep your project names, which in turn was part of the York Regional Police's cannabis enforcement strategy. According to reports, they made 37 arrests, laid 67 charges. This was the result of 15 search warrants and a bunch of pot grow operations in several towns, including Stouffville and East Gwillimbury, which have been...
which have to be made up names.
Which got to be made up names. They've got to be made up names. I love you, Canada or Canada. The police reckon about 29,000 plants and 40,000 pounds of harvested pot was seized by police. We're not sure how much made it into the watch house, but if those fuckers are buying munchies, we know what's up. I love the way he writes. They also seized 7 guns, 2 crossbows, and a conducted energy weapon. Did he have a Tony Stark plasma? Yeah, it's got to be. It's the way they put it. It sounds very Tony Stark-esque.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
What do you think is a taser? Is that a taser?
This is a taser.
That's not a taser. This is a taser.
This is a taser. I like to call it a plasma rifle. They also found a bunch of exotic animals, including 3 kangaroos and 2 zebras. Let's be honest here. Whoever was in charge of shipping definitely ordered the kangaroos and the zebras right after hitting the old bucket bing. Dead set, you can see the bloodshot eyes, fucker. Seeing them coming up on an offer and just going, fuck yeah, that'd be awesome. I've actually got tears in my eyes. Anyway, the cops reckon the whole lot was going on the black market, where it would have resulted in criminal activity and increased in sales of Monster Munch. I love this story. Because of how it was.
I love the way it's written. It's great, isn't it? It's really well written.
Well, the story was sent in by a fan of me, Noel Orchard. Cheers, bro.
Your number one fan, eh?
It was like, it's really weird, sis. And I saw some shit. I saw shit like this, and I thought, oh, she'll want it.
I've got to ask Alex. I've got to ask Alex, why are you drinking a bottle of piss?
It's Corona.
All right.
I'm supporting a dying franchise here. I'm doing my bit to help people through COVID.
Oh, brilliant.
They suffered terribly with sales because of COVID because people are fucking stupid. We've got a few comments coming in. Andy Emoff says, now I'm subbed on YouTube. You can't shake me off, Alex. That's how he talks, by the way.
Is that how he really talks?
He says, Canadians are the nicest people on the planet unless they're not. And he put, Aussie Man is a national treasure. Yes, he is. I love Aussie Man.
Oh, yeah. Funny.
Yeah, if you've never seen him, literally search for Aussie Man as it's written on that post there, and he does have some pretty awesome videos on there that have gone viral again and again and again. But yeah, there we go. People trying to. By the way, that's a very pothead thing to do, isn't it? Oh mate, I could do with a fucking zebra. I want a zebra. I want 3 kangaroos,
and a ton of weed.
Do you know when you sort of see these sort of like gangster things where they're just like, oh, because I'm a criminal and I'm really rich, it means I'm cool as fuck. And they've got like panthers with diamante like chokers walking around. You never see that scene with a fucking kangaroo bouncing through the back garden.
They're probably using the kangaroos as an enforcer. Have you ever seen a fighting kangaroo?
Whoa,
yeah.
Fuck, man. Yeah,
they can.
I want to see them when they're angry.
Oh yeah, they're like pure muscle. They're incredible. They really are. They're probably just like anyone fucks with them. Just set the kangaroos on them, man. They'll kick their ass.
Absolutely.
This is something my brother actually said to me when he gave me it. He said they obviously they were so stoned they ordered the wrong mule.
Hey. I've got to say, actually, it does remind me of that scene from Lock, Stock. Do you remember that scene where he's like, we grow copious amounts of ganja, yeah? He's like, yeah. And he goes, and you're carrying a wasted girl and a giant bag of compost, you fucking idiot. Like, it's so good. I love that scene. It's so good. Yeah, great story. What are we going to go? What was next on the list? My list's on Messenger, which I've just put away.
I want
the next one looks like it's the pizza.
The pizza.
Who wants to take the pizza?
Actually, no. I'm going to do this one. I'm sorry to just jump from story to story because I've got a beef. I've got a fucking beef.
He's got a kangaroo beef. Jumping from story to story.
That was a good pun. Thank
you very much.
I was a bit slow getting that.
And I got to say, right, I went to Asda to grab something for tea for tonight, and I didn't go to Asda. I didn't go to Asda to get fucking my trousers pulled down and my bottom spanked because the prices in Asda at the moment during lockdown are fucking ridiculous.
There's a lot of that. Apparently, they're removing all the offers because they're saying, they can't manage it. It's like you've just used a long sentence to say you're milking people in a pandemic. Well done.
That's shit.
What?
Yeah.
Fucking ridiculous. I paid two. Okay, this is gonna sound really funny, but I paid £2.60 for a kilo of rice. £2.60 for a kilo of fucking rice. I swear to God, I took a picture and everything. I showed it to the wife. I was like, "It's nearly £3 for a bag of rice in here, love. We're going to Aldi next time."
There's some sexy chat going on, Shay Whiteley.
Well, this story is about what you get for your money, okay? Because everybody loves a Domino's pizza, right? You like Domino's, Lucy? You like Domino's, Shane?
I'm an ex-fatty, so I love all pizza.
I gotta say, I fucking hate Domino's in a way with a passion because they're like, oh yeah, get a pizza for like £2 for £15, and you get a bottle of pop. But the pizza's always like that big, that big. And then this story is no exception. So this story reads: a nurse was left fuming after her £15 pizza. Oh, this is Pizza Hut, so fuck you, Pizza Hut too. Turned out to be the size of her hand. Claudia
Sorry, Domino's.
Claudia J from Bristol shared a hilarious photo showing the comparison between the snack and her small hand. Not being funny, but £15 for a pizza, the size of my hand, and I'm 5'2", and queer-sized small gloves that work as well.
She means to say where, but she made a typo.
No, what she means is she saw the pizza and she went a little bit queer.
She came over all of a queer.
Came over all
A
queer.
little bit queer. There's
I
lots
just
of
reckon
stuff.
she's got massive hands. That's all.
I was about to say that. Her hands are actually like fucking giant.
I did.
I
I did take a picture of screen. I didn't take a picture of her. Okay, fucking calm down, people. I did take a screenshot of her though because I thought she was quite
Cute.
Yeah,
But she's
so there
got
you go.
massive hands. See, she's hiding her hand behind her head. Behind that head, there's a massive fuck off hand.
She's got like face hugger fingers, like. A couple more comments coming in. The fucking beef. Luke Logan as well. He says, "Why can you eat an entire Domino's pizza no problem, yet no yeast in it for us or something?"
And Luke is living in Canada.
Oh, there you go.
Well, they
There you
eat loads over there in Canada, don't they? They eat massive loads of food. Yeah.
Andy Imhoff again messaging. He's actually a food guy. He does a food podcast. If you need to know anything about food, go to Andy. And he says, I used to work in a pizza place. That looks like leftover pizza dough they tried to shape into a fresh pie out of.
Yeah, probably.
And he had someone was stoned and fucked up a pizza, tried to fix it. It was a total disaster, and they sent it anyway. There.
The kangaroo did it.
Or a fucking zebra.
Pizza Hut is definitely a what's the difference when it comes to our cultures in the US and UK, because it used to be a treat for us to go to Pizza Hut, right? When you were a kid, yeah. Apparently in America that's like rat shit. That's like you went to Pizza Hut and you were excited about it. Apparently it's not like a big thing over there. So.
Yeah, I must admit though, I went to Pizza Hut years ago in London and got really bad food poisoning. Like really, really bad.
Yeah, I've had a dicky tummy, but I think it was life teaching me a lesson, because I went to Pizza Hut and I had the lasagna, and I think I realised I was that person that's gone to a pizza house and has had lasagna, and therefore I should be punished.
Yeah.
I'll have a salad, thank you. No, you fucking won't.
You won't. And this massive hand of this nurse came around and just smacked me out.
Ryan Berger on the other chat, not on this one, says, is that like a quarter in real money? I think he's talking about the $150 million worth of cannabis. Apparently, Canadian weed's really, really expensive. I've spoken to a couple of Canadians on the shows before, and they said that it's really, really expensive because it's legal over there, don't forget. But, I don't understand what. My wife is watching, which I'm definitely in trouble for now because I said that girl was cute. But she said, why is that pizza square? But hey, there you go. I'm in the doghouse now.
You're allowed to say other women are cute, aren't you, Alex?
No.
We'll find out later if I've been grounded or not.
Rightly, if you can do the Shining impersonation where you just open the door behind him with just literally just a knife in your face looking through.
Now, my wife has definitely got bigger hands than that girl, so I'm going to get... she's 5'2", that girl is.
Just don't dig the hole any bigger, Alex.
Keep digging. My wife has massive hands. And that other woman is really cute.
You never know, she might slice a bit of my earlobe off. Take it away, Lucy.
What a segue.
What a segue. He's back. Take a look at this, guys.
Okay. Yes. So this is alarming, disturbing. It's obviously true. But a lady, to paraphrase, a lady went in to have a nose job, and they did the nose job. And she woke up and she looked in the mirror, and part of her ear was missing. And so she was like, "Sorry, I don't mean to be a problem, but could I just ask what the fuck you've done to my ear?" And they were like, "Oh, it's really normal," and you agreed to it. She's like, "I don't fucking think so." I don't think I did. I definitely think I would have remembered the bit where you went, "I'm going to massively chop off your ear."
What, did they use a bit of her ear to sort out her
so
nose?
I know this is very visual, so podcast listeners sort of go with it. But you know when you put your ear pods in, right? So you've got the big bit of your ear. So the bit in front of the ear, the bit that stops your earbud sticking out, that little knobbly bit there, that's
flap.
cartilage. The flap.
The flap.
But it's just the weird little pointy thing that basically stops your earbuds falling out. And that is made of cartilage. And they used that cartilage for her nose. Apparently it's very common. I'm not sure how, because if you were trying to improve your looks by altering your nose, I don't think you'd be up for losing part of your ear. I mean, it would definitely detract from the nose issues.
Definitely.
Where does that bit of the ear go then? Does it go like down under?
Oh,
Hey! That was pretty clever, Alex. I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
I'm well thought out.
That joke was from the Great Barrier Reef.
Andy says, "You took me fucking ear flap." That's just crazy, though, isn't it?
Fucking mad.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that going to like leave her open to infections in her ears now?
Funny enough, Shane, it says in the story, do you know what? That could open you up to infections.
Is that what it says? All right, sorry, I didn't read it.
So this is the bit that really confused me. So she'd had rhinoplasty. That was one of the animals not found in Canada. No rhinos.
I was going to say, is that to make you look like a rhino?
Yeah. So she had one rhinoplasty surgery and then had another one. So I don't know what they did to the first one, or maybe she just thought, you know, keep shaving. Maybe we don't know how big her fucking nose was to start with. So it was a second procedure in 5 years. But the first one in which her part of her, so she's saying, yes, she's had a nose job beforehand, but they've never taken her ear off to do it. So she said to them, sorry, it's just really, really fucking weird, isn't it? So they're saying that the back of the cartilage from the back of the auricle can cause ear atrophy. Because I mean, it's all about, it's like a funnel, isn't it? The way the sound waves go in, and they've got to go in a certain way, and then they tickle the, you know, the different parts in there. Vibrate, tickle. Ooh, you just vibrated my ass. She's saying, so she's saying that her earbuds keep falling out because, technically speaking, she's got nothing to hold it in. And she's saying that you definitely did not mention it, and they're saying, yeah, we totes did. But you know, she wants a full refund. She wants compensation, and she would like operation to fix her ear.
Mm.
So then she'll wake up with a bit of a nose missing.
Yeah,
I know.
We lose the nose for the ear.
It's just...
I can just.
Is there other cartilage they could have used that wasn't so, you know, cosmetically obvious?
Well, wouldn't they just use it off a cadaver?
Ugh. I don't know. Would you want a bit of a dead person on you?
If you're not told, you'd be fine with it. I mean, ultimately, they've got to get the cartilage from somewhere, and they're not using it.
I can just imagine the conversations about a group of surgeons that have, you know, illegally harvested organs, and they're like, oh, what did you get? Sorry. Hello, what did you get? Fuck! Why do I always do that? Hello there. Let me just ask you, what? Can we stop doing these shows live, please? Because you used to pull me up on stuff like that. Hello. Listen. Hello there. May I ask what you managed to retrieve this week? And this guy's like, yes, I have this very healthy liver. This liver, look at it, it's great. And this guy's got, I've got this heart. I've got this heart, mate. Yeah, it's fucking great, isn't it? Yeah, she died, but I've got a heart now. And the one guy's like, I have earlobe. I'm sorry to China if I've offended you, by the way. He's not a racist.
Well, I mean, we have done a story about how if China think you're a racist, they are going to fucking come for you, son.
We get pulled, fucking yanked straight off Facebook. Get the fuck out. Your joke pit will be like, never again, Mr. Whiteley. Oh, God. Okay, we have a story that Shane brought in as well, which I thought was really funny. Shane, do you want to talk us through this one right here?
Yes, indeed, I will. Actually, I was trying to, before when you were talking about Tesco's, I thought, oh, there's a segue there, but I knew we weren't going into this story, so we missed out on that opportunity, didn't we? So this story is from the Metro, and it sort of made me laugh, and then it also made me go, So a Tesco was left covered in, oh, thanks. The story's just, no, it's back. A Tesco was left covered in smashed eggs after a fight broke out between customers over a 2-minute silence. While the rest of the supermarket in Middlesbrough came to a standstill, one woman continued shopping and talking. She was told to shush while other customers observed the silence in honour of fallen servicemen and women. However, she took umbrage to this. A witness said, "We were all stood still, observing the 2-minute silence when we heard lots of screaming and shouting. Everyone was looking at each other. We were like, what's going on? I heard someone shout, 'You disrespected my mother!'" So they might not have said it in that accent. She added that there were smashed eggs all over the floor of the Tesco Extra. A police spokesman said, following a verbal altercation reportedly involving a man and a woman and another 2 women, a man allegedly assaulted the 2 women. Witnesses are being asked to contact police. So it's a very short story, but yes, it's funny. You can just imagine the scene. Eggs all over Tesco's, egg fight. Any other time I go, yeah, go for it. Have an egg fight. It's really fun. But to actually disrespect the 2-minute silence like that makes me a little bit pissed off.
Yeah, and I did see this story. I thought I did what you did, Shane. I imagined the scenario and I thought this would be funny as fuck. But I then I remembered a story this week where okay, look, don't like to get political at all on the show, okay, but I have invited Extinction Rebellion on the Shrewsbury Biscuit before. I've spoken to him because I thought these guys have got an opinion. Let's give them a voice, right? And I had a great conversation with them. I respect a lot of their views, and I do think things need to change around the world. However, okay, in World War I, World War II, and world since, people were sent to war without their rights. They were like, okay, you're going to war. If you don't go, you're going to jail. Okay, people were forced to go
mandatory.
to war.
It's conscription.
Yeah, it was mandatory, right? So to desecrate a cenotaph on a Remembrance Day with political views on climate change is an abomination and should never happen. So Extinction Rebellion, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Just use a different tactic. Please don't do that. Don't do that. It's bullshit.
I think with any of those organisations, though, those actions are usually the actions of individuals, aren't they? Just basically assholes.
Yeah, just because your dad's in Pink Floyd, stop being a twat.
Yeah, it doesn't represent the whole of the organisation, I don't think at all. And it happens a lot with, these organisations get fucking hijacked by these dickheads who actually don't care about the cause that they're representing at all. They just want to cause trouble. So fuck those people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've got another short story as well that I'm going to bring up.
Completely lost. I'm trying to find where they get the cartilage for nose. I'm so far down a rabbit hole.
I was googling that as well.
I'm sorry, Alex. I've got to interrupt. They're saying that you can get this cartilage from your elbow or your skull. I've never heard of somebody going to get a nose job and coming back out with fucking lobotomy. Like, I've never someone saying, "Oh, look at my nose." Oh, I've got a bandage over my head or my No one's ever come back out with a bloody plaster on their elbow because and they're going, it's really common to use ears and it needs to be from your own body. My mind is blown.
It's just crazy. There's tiny bits of cartilage in your elbows and your knees, isn't there? And I think they can take a little bit out of your elbow and use it for your nose, maybe. So they probably only need a little tiny bit to do the surgery.
Well, let's move on because this story keeps coming back. It keeps coming back like a boomerang.
Oh!
Boom! There you go. All right.
Go on,
Harangue.
then, Barbie. Cue up the next story.
Okay, this story. Okay, this story is for me and TS, our Tom Stevens, because this is a story about something called hat fishing. Okay, this is a new dating phenomenon called hat fishing, and Shane as well. If you wore hats, surging online with 1 in 10 victims. They say victims. Okay. So this story is, it says a survey of 1,000 adults found 21% have tried to conceal their lack of hair on dating apps or social media with hats. And 1 in 10 Brits have been victims of the phenomenon. It says phenomenon. Dating phenomenon hat fishing. When someone conceals their baldness under a hat on social media or dating apps, has seen a recent surge online. Research has revealed that of those suffer from thinning or hair or baldness, 21% have tried to conceal lack of hair on dating apps or social media, and 16 have used a hat to do so, therefore turning them into a hat fisher. It comes after a survey of 1,000 adults found that 1 in 10 Brits claim they have been hat fished. God damn you! It comes after after 40% of women feel that they could go no further with a potential love interest if they were hat fished by them. Oh my gosh! More than a quarter of adults also admitted that when scrolling through dating apps or meeting up for a first date, they make a judgment on the person's hair first. Of the women polled, 56% admitted they would prefer to date someone with a full head of hair, and 45% would completely lose interest if their date had a comb over.
Comb over. I remember your comb over, Alex. I remember you had a comb over. Remember?
I did. I grew my hair. Remember, for a year. Yeah, I looked stupid. I always actually remember. I went to a really important and well. The press were everywhere, all over the thing. It was for the Darwin Festival, and I was speaking to Darwin's great granddaughter, who was an amazing.
Was she cute?
She was, yeah, but she was an amazing person. That's the most important. She was an advocate for Colombia and peace talks in Colombia. And I remember having this picture with this woman, okay, and I had just this hair. It was just horrible. But I did it for
great hair. It was great hair, mate. I loved it. It made me very happy.
To this hat, this dating phenomenon, hat fishing, I say fuck you. I say fuck you indeed, because who gives a fuck if a guy's got no hair or not?
What about if it's a woman? What if a woman makes out she's got loads of hair and she's bald? Does that change things?
I don't want to. We've got a couple of comments here. Paul Swope says, "You guys are bloody crazy." I don't know.
Paul, you drongo.
Yeah. Andy Imov says, "You're 34, still live with your mom's house, no job, no car, overweight, nearly stick as fuck. But the baldness is too far. How dare you?" Yeah.
What's the matter with being bald? I'm proud of my baldness, man.
I don't mind showing my head. My head is fine. I'm not. In fact, I always encourage guys, if you're starting to go bald and you do look a bit different, just get rid of it, man. Just fucking get rid of it. But I just like hats.
Yeah.
I like hats. So I don't have to suffer this problem because I'm already happily married. But I mean, I imagine it like stories like that really fucking people over when it comes to their self-confidence.
I think if people are insecure about it, yes, it's going to mess about with them, isn't it? They're going to go, "Oh my god, women don't like me because I'm bald." Yeah, fuck that.
All I can say is women have got no. Okay, I'm not being sexist, which means I'm probably sexist. I'm sorry.
I'm not being sexist, but
like chicken fillets and those ass filling shorts, and you've even got shorts now that accentuate a fucking camel toe. What the fuck? How can you guys get away with doing that? We can't wear a fucking hat. Come on.
And
So
breathe.
So what do they call it? What do they call it then? Is that camel fishing then? I got camel fished. I thought she had a nice little punani, but no, it was huge, man.
I think we're about five minutes away from drop trowel with Mr. Chips.
What is it? Codamol he's on.
I haven't got a camel toe. I haven't got a camel toe.
I think with guys it's called a camel.
Oh, is that a zebra under there?
I'm not comparing my appendage to any animal. It would be unfair to the animal.
Okay.
Anyway, let's move on.
moving on. We're going to dim the lights a little bit because we want to talk about a subject that's not really a Weekly Bizarre sort of subject, but we've brought it up on the Bizarre before. So we are going to discuss it.
Really distressing. And
Sorry.
Okay,
this is actually one of the best conversations we ever had, me and Lucy, because of how passionate we both were about it. So here it is. Here's the headline. So it says Britney Spears loses bid to remove father from conservatorship, refuses to perform. This is a sad story. Everybody is aware that. Go on, Lucy. You tell it better than me.
Tell the story.
Can I take this one because she's my bae. Hashtag free Britney. Maybe it's because of my age, but her career started when I was in my sort of teens, and I bloody love a bit of Britney. And I've actually just named my truck Britney Spears because she's an old girl, but she's got plenty of years left on her. She's a hard worker, sometimes she does give you a bit of jip, but ultimately you've just got to learn how to use it. So
put it in the wrong gear and it's like, oops, I did it again. Sorry.
Oh!
I often would go up a hill and I'm shouting "work, bitch," which is another song, but no one else knows that but me. So the thing is, when she had a mental blip, so she had a little bit of a breakdown. It was the whole getting out of the taxi with no undies on and shaving her head and driving with the baby on her lap and all that stuff. So her dad decided the best thing to do is for him to control her money and her calendar.
Mm.
And
that makes sense.
And she has come on leaps and bounds. She's doing better. But I mean, this was in 2008.
Oh.
She is not the woman that she was in 2008. Do you remember when we did that story about her gym burning down? And fair enough. It seemed quite funny that the gym had burnt down, but it's not because she'd been lying around throwing candles at the fucking wall. It was just a candle was left burning unattended. And I can't believe this, but my phone is there he's going to say my phone will not let me get in using my fingerprint, and that's still me. There's been quite a lot of free Britney, all the sort of stories about the father controlling her. And if she is that mentally unstable, is it fair to make her do work? If they're saying that she can't be trusted to run her own bank and her own calendar, is it fair to make her perform? Isn't that like abuse of somebody who's mentally ill?
You can't have your cake and eat it, can you?
No.
She's either well enough to perform and therefore well enough to have her money back, or she should be left alone to recover. You can't. Basically, they're trying to make her they are making her into a slave, from what I can tell here.
So she was in debt, and the reason why James reckons he should be still left in charge is because he's gone from debt to 60 million net worth. And I don't think being savvy with money gives you the right to control your daughter at this age and at this long since she's had any kind of mental health issues. I mean, it was just revealed as well that he is on 130,000 a year for running her estate. He has only requested modest increases over the years. He gets 1.5% of the gross revenue of performance and merchandise. So when she did her Las Vegas residency, 1.5%, still a fucking lot of money because we're talking millions here.
Yeah.
And she's now saying, right, okay, if you're not going to let me be in control of my calendar or my money, I'm not performing anymore.
Well,
And
that's fair enough, isn't it? I think. Yeah. Free Britney.
Free Britney.
Definitely. Yeah. Leave it. Let her get on with it. She, unless they can prove that somehow she's, not capable of making these decisions, then let her get on with it.
If she's that mentally unsound, don't put her in Las Vegas.
No, it's not going to help, is it? It's not going to help her recovery.
Nope.
I think Hollywood is a dangerous place, and you've got to remember that Lucy. You need to remember that Lucy was Britney born to make you happy. Drew Peacock says that in the chat. Sorry, I
well done,
that.
Drew.
Absolutely
very good. Very good.
I hate this. They did do like a Black Mirror episode very similar to this story, and I think it was to pay homage to what's going on with Britney at the moment. It was Miley Cyrus, and she was comatose, or she was in like a coma, and they had this machine she was printing off songs.
Yeah.
Like in her mind, they're printing off songs in her mind and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bad thing. It is a bad thing, and I do hope that Britney. I never thought I'd say this. I hope Britney gets what she. Because I'm not really a big fan of.
Her mum tried to get on the board of directors, and they didn't agree with it because she said, "I don't think it's right. The father is just the person in charge because the mother and father aren't together anymore." And Britney is saying it does feel like he is controlling me, and she's not 12. I mean, for Christ's sake! I mean, look at all the shit Miley pulled when she was trying to make sure that we all knew that she was no longer Hannah Montana. I mean, she could not have tried to make the world more aware of the fact she is now a woman in her own mind and no longer a Disney creature. She went off the rails.
Yeah. So, it's natural for these child stars to do that, I think, because they don't get a proper childhood, do they?
No.
And then they get to a certain age and they become self-aware, and it's like, fuck, I never had a childhood and I'm 30. Fuck, I'll have it now. And then they just go bonkers for a couple of years, and then they settle down. I think Britney is in the settling down sort of mode probably now.
But even by that time when Britney was going mental, sorry, that was really not PC. But when she was having a terrible time, there were examples of celebrities doing this before. Michael Jackson, Drew Barrymore, all these.
Drew, she went right off on one, but then again, she was on drugs at the age of 9.
Well, there you go.
That'll do it.
Take one of these, honey. It'll make you feel better. Yeah. We've got a few comments in here. Andy's giving me some love in the chat here. He says, Alex is rocking the bald head and beard. Hot, hot, hot. Thank you, Andy. I will climb on you later. He says here, every time I work with Alex, he shouts, "Dance, monkey, dance." Britney, I feel for you. I think you'll find it's the other way around. He's my dad. He's definitely my daddy. Moving on from Britney, we have another story which is going to be about a giant crocodile. Alligator?
It's an alligator, I think, mate.
An alligator.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've moved from Florida man story to Florida. What the fuck? What's going on in Florida? This is a really lazily screenshotted video off my phone. But this is a video of the news story, and I've got some pictures to share as well. This alligator was seen walking around in Florida. Here we go. So you can just about see that.
I'm so tempted to do a voiceover for this.
Look at the size of the fucking thing.
Hello, chaps. Which way is the beach?
Do you mind not filming me, please?
Where are those fucking kangaroos? I'm really hungry right now.
Look at the size
I'll make
of
do with
fucker.
a zebra. He's big lad, isn't he?
He's a big guy. Yeah.
Oh, you know what it is? We had a lot of trouble, didn't we, with people in Florida flushing their drugs in the rivers? Someone's been flushing steroids into the rivers, and now you've got Roid Gator.
You know what it is, don't you? It's one of those alligators that ate the fucking whale that went up the Australian fucking river. There you go.
Still
Bring
full of
back,
whale,
baby.
Yeah,
still doing it.
Back. And when it farts, it sounds like a fucking didgeridoo. Hey, sorry.
You guess what it is, yeah. But we do
feel
Rob Harris
that
jokes? Is that okay?
No, I think you can actually. You can laugh at him because he's a criminal. It's like if Steve Woo hadn't mesmerized with that stingray, I'm pretty certain that alligator would be the fucking reason. He doesn't like it if you punch it on the nose, does he? It's not liking this.
You see something like that coming up. You see something like that coming up to you, and you shit yourself, don't you? You know, I wouldn't know what to do. You know, if you're a tourist and you're not from Florida, you know, and you're used to seeing alligators, you go and see your uncle or something, and you're staying at their house or something, I don't know, and you see that fucker walking up to you, you shit your pants, don't you? What the fuck? That's crazy. Yeah.
All that shit in your pants stops you running, though, mate. So it's best to keep it in if you can.
And if anything, you are going to attract the scent will attract them.
Yeah.
You know, if they can smell fear, they can pretty much smell shit.
Andy says, "Do it, Shane." I don't know what he's on about.
Hopefully, not shit myself. I think he was on about the voiceover when I threatened to do a voiceover of the video.
Oh, and Steve Dunn, my friend Steve Dunn's been on there. Feels sorry for the camel. He's got 4 toes. That's back down to the camel toe.
Andy again. Andy's loving this show today. I'd grill up that bad bitch. Give me a sharp knife and a big ass smoker. And this is true, actually. Andy did actually do barbecued alligator. And he got some hot sauce, and he did like a vlog about it. It was amazing.
You have to put a lot of seasoning on it, don't you? Because it's quite bland, isn't it, alligator? I've had a alligator burger once, and it was like processed chicken.
Really chewy or something. Like
it's
really sinewy.
Really bland. It was like processed chicken. You know, those processed chicken burgers you get that are really like bland and smooth. With, you know, it was like that. It was really
reconstituted.
So you put a lot of seasoning on it, and it's nice then because it absorbs all the flavour.
You just described the whole theory behind Nando's there. It's a bit bland, so they put a lot of seasoning on it.
Nando's alligator burgers. There you
go. There was a story about the Undertaker, and he revealed his Nando's order, and I was like, we don't want to talk about Nando's. Fuck Nando's. I went to Nando's once, and I was like,
shit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's shit, man. I hate Nando's.
Yeah, I went once. Somebody took me, and I thought, oh God, I've never been. Everyone bloody raves about it, and I was like, do you know what? This tastes like very sad chicken that didn't have a very good life.
yeah. It's just so dull. It's really dull food, I have to say, and it's really expensive.
They could just be having corn with spices on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So we're not going to be sponsored by Nando's. That's now been made very clear.
Sorry, Nando's.
Drew
has got the point of the evening in my eyes. He says, Gatorade, isn't that a soft drink? Gatorade. Well done, Drew. You win. In response to me shitting myself by seeing that, Andy says, leave the children, they'll give us a chance to escape. I don't need to run out there. I need to outrun you. Okay. Are we what stories have we got left? I know we
got the spider story.
We do have
the spider story. Or we're not.
We're moving on to what the fuck? Oh, sorry, my internet's starting to go.
Is that another podcast?
I've lost.
What the fuck with Alex and Lucy and Jay?
That's what this is. I've lost my slide for it, but it's that time again. It's Science with Alex.
Science with Alex. He's not racist.
Although China are investigating.
We've made famous musical friends this last couple of weeks on USUK. You know, we had Darren Miller from CKY. We've had Slade Dougie speaking to the guys from Chronicles. We've had Melissa Cross. Is it Melissa Cross, the lady that does the voice? We definitely need to get someone to do us a fucking jingle for that.
It's got to be done.
If only we knew somebody that was in a band, that'd be.
I can't think of anyone. Alex, did we have someone on the show once? I can't. No, gone.
I think that thought is trapped by my hat. Anyway, okay. So we've got two Science of Alex stories. And we have this one here, which I thought was really good. Now listen,
Sorry, giant spiders.
Right now, I am about to start talking about kinky spiders. I'm not kink shaming anybody, because we're all into a bit of naughtiness of our own
Never
degree.
kink shame.
Oh,
Never
yeah.
kink shame. This is a pretty badass story. Okay, I gotta say. It says here, some male spiders tie up females before mating to avoid being eaten. Ooh. Many male spiders engage in courtship rituals during mating. Some attack females instead and tie them up to avoid being eaten. How amazing is that? It's like, gonna get it, bitch. But first, let me just how do you tie up a spider? By the way, what 8 of those fucking legs.
You need 4 sets of handcuffs.
Yeah. Very little thin handcuffs.
I love that so much. I think it's great to know that it's not just us that enjoy. You know,
I don't know if it's very
bondage.
Maybe it's more about preservation.
A bit of arachnoid bondage, isn't it?
I think it perfectly outlines the male psyche. They're going to kill me after sex. I'm still going to have the sex. I'm just going to tie her up to save myself first. I mean, as opposed to just going, I think I'll go and get my rocks off somewhere else.
Well, maybe there's just a lot of submissive female spiders around who get off on it.
I mean, the forums are Dom looking for a sub. The spiders are all over, and they can type so quickly.
Yeah, they've got 8 legs, haven't they? Dom looking for sub. Where? Dom arachnid.
Dom arachnid. You call me daddy.
A real vampirella.
I could just imagine a spider sort of walking up to these 2 spiders. And he's like, so guys, what's going on here? While he's tying up the woman. Nothing. Nothing's going on here.
Nothing.
You carry on walking.
The wife comes home, there's web tied all over the bed head. He's like, just decorating. Just decorating because, just don't need something.
Spider-Man style, just like web capture, like bits along the wall, 8 of them. Perfect shape of a spider. What have you been up to? I don't know.
Can spiders whistle?
Andy says, "Daddy Longlegs, yay!"
Hey, who's the daddy long legs?
I'm sorry, Drew. I'm sorry, Drew, but Andy's overtaking you now with the pun off that we got going on here. Andy's in the lead. You do have one more story to go though before we get out of here. So there is another opportunity. This next story I thought was really cool. Okay, so I've spoken about before on the Weekly Bazaar. Lucy's always whinging about Elon Musk and his fucking Starlink. She was like, "Oh, he just throws what he likes up in space, doesn't he? Just fucking
Garden shed, that's what it is." The old water butt.
Garden shed. What's that across the sky, Grandad?
It's a broken greenhouse floating past Mars.
And we've all seen like Apollo 13 and all those films and space movies where the rocket leaves the Earth's atmosphere and they let go of the jettison, the fuel pods or whatever it is. There's always that magical scene, isn't there? But apparently there's so many of them in space right now. Space is littered with dead rocket stages. What if we turned them into habitats, sir? So we've always been looking for ways to rid our atmosphere of the shit that's just flying around up there. There have been nets thought of, which would just be an absolute nightmare. They thought of shooting shit out of space, fire. They're literally trying to clear our atmosphere. It reminds me of WALL-E. Have you seen WALL-E, that Pixar movie?
Yeah, WALL-E. Yeah, brilliant.
Where the rocket goes out into space and literally has to burst through all the satellites that's floating around. That's pretty much what it looks like up there. Yeah. It says here, just outside the upper reaches of our atmosphere, past the line of separating Earth from space, lies an orbital junkyard of debris. And that junk just keeps piling up with the increasing commercialization of space, leaving many experts worried how the debris could impact astronauts, satellites, and future deep space missions. But where some people see trouble, others see opportunity. Nanoracks, a space company.
Sorry, we're not moving on from that. We
That's
are not
good.
moving on from that. That's amazing.
I'm sorry. I am sorry, Andy, and I'm sorry, everybody else. The popular mechanics they win this. No, Nanoracks. They created the company. Fuck it. Nanoracks winning the puns, slaying it. You've got to work hard to beat this one. A space company that has previously helped get commercial payloads to the International Space Station aims to recycle the derelict upper stages of rockets orbiting Earth into commercial space stations. Wow. The company's program, Outpost, plans to turn Earth's orbiting junkyard into a recycling center where an army of robotic space drones will zip unwanted spent upper stages of rockets into an orbiting laboratories, greenhouses, fuel deposits or depots, and possibly habitats. Rockets
and possibly weapons platforms. Sorry.
Oh, did they like mention that at the very end? Like, reference.
Weapons of mass destruction, you say? Rocket.
Hang on, in my head, you've got astronauts, but they're high-vis orange astronauts. One of them's having a fag, and they're like, "Sorry, mate, that's bin 3. Spin 3. It's no. You're not having that. This is professional waste. This is professional. No, you have to pay for that. But not more than my job to let you have that in."
This is a massive article, by the way, so I'm not going to read it all, but it says rockets usually have multiple stages that are decoupled to save weight as they ascend to orbit. The lower stages fall back to Earth after burning all their fuel. That's nice, isn't it? You know, you're taking a walk across some meadow, a fucking rocket falls on your head. Great, cheers, man.
It's pity we're not doing the firework puns again this week, isn't it?
I know. Pushing the upper stages to the upper atmosphere. The smaller, lighter upper stages give the final kick to place their payloads and the upper stages themselves into orbit. This puts rocket scientists, I can't read, at a crossroads. Do they leave enough fuel in the upper stage after orbital insertion so they can turn around, refire its engines and deorbit to fall back to Earth?
Shane, stay with us. He's getting there.
Sorry.
Is it me or are we really naughty tonight?
That's fucking boring.
This is
You've
what I
gone
said.
from Nanorack to Anorak here.
It's a long story.
Okay. So what the idea I think is going to get little drones. They're going to push all these little cigar cases, giant cigar cases together. They're going to fucking zip tie them all together and make some habitats floating up in space. It's quite clever. I like it. I like that they're doing something.
And I like the fact that the CEO of Nanoracks is called Jeffrey Manber.
You know he's called Jeff for short. I love the fact that Jeff's in charge. Jeff's in charge of all this. Don't worry, we've got a Jeff on it. If in doubt, call Jeff. James
Manber.
Jeffrey Manber. What? It's just a daft name. And why didn't they call it Manoracks? Because then it could have been named after him.
That's a flasher. I mean, I've got the app Night Sky. It's a free app, and you hold it up, and it shows you what constellations there are, and it tells you all about the satellites as well.
That's cool.
And the sky is absolutely teeming with working and active satellites. So imagine that plus the shit that doesn't work anymore. Or the stuff that's sloughed off when you go into a different orbit and stuff. We really are disgusting little creatures. I mean, Alex, when we discussed what we'd do to the moon if we were able to just get on there and just destroy it, it's sort of like we're the versions of, when you drive down the country lane and you see like a McDonald's bags just thrown. Someone's been in the most beautiful place in the world, and they're driving along and they just go wang that out the window. And that is what we're like with the sky. It's like, we can't see it. It doesn't really exist.
Yeah.
Chuck it up there. We are wasteful little creatures. We may have been visited by aliens many, many times, but they sort of got to a certain point. They saw all the crap around it, and they thought, well, we must be in the council estate part. And they just turned around and thought, no, that I don't think these are cultured or educated animals on this planet. I mean, look at what they've done with the sky. There's half a sofa and a fridge floating past.
It does
I
say.
just imagine, right?
Sorry, go on.
Sorry. No, go
All
on.
I was going to say, it does say that it isn't later on in the article, after all the boring stuff, it does say that Nanarax isn't the first to propose the idea of using the upper stages of rockets to create space stations. NASA originally planned its first space station, Skylab, to be built from the upper stage of the mighty Saturn V rocket, which I didn't know. That's interesting. Not quite as boring as the other bit. Anyway, there's got some comments there, haven't we, Alex?
We do have some comments, and I was going to say, actually, I imagine this, because you know how long light travels through space. You know, this transmission that's travelled for a millennia to get to Earth, and it's just been travelling and travelling, and it bounced off a fucking EE satellite back. Yeah, comments. Let's do that. Andy Imhoff says, all I can think about now is a team of caravan builders going, right, load up the fuelons and carry coolers. We're headed to space, boys. There we go. And he says, he continues with, our boy Jeffy has got it.
Stick a Jeff on it. If in doubt, call Jeff.
Call Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely. And Drew Peacock says, what's worse, spiders on your piano or crabs on your organ?
He's from Durham. He doesn't even sound like that.
This is an Australia-themed show, mate. We're going to do terrible Australian. I imagine
sounds
which
like
character.
Carl Urban in The Boys.
We had Andrew Lorden on the show on Wednesday. I brought up a story about the worst accents in movie history. And already, Carl for that Boys. He's number 2 in the history of movies. That accent, I love that. It's fantastic.
Oh, wow.
I remember Keanu did a period piece where he had to pretend to be an English gent. Fuck, it was horrible. It was painful. I had to watch it with the sound off just to keep finding him attractive.
Yeah. I always think it does ruin a movie, doesn't it? Especially when I don't know what it is with America. They're like, oh, yeah, man, we need to get some British actors to do a terrible American accent, just like this guy's doing on this podcast right here. We need to do that. Anyway, look, we're running out of time. Thank you very much, by the way, guys, for tuning into the show. We've had such fun. Honestly, I have had a terrible run of shows over the last couple of weeks, and this show has just reinvigorated me. It's given me a bit of life. So thank you. I really appreciate that. Lucy, would you like to tell people about what you're up to lately, please?
I've still got all my entertainment shows, so even though I'm trucking away, so I've got the Lucy show on Tuesday.
Excuse me, you're what away?
I said trucking away. Don't choke on your bottle of piss there, Whiteley.
That kind of show. Stop kink shaming me.
At the truck driver, I see a lot of them on the side of the road. Roadside Lucasade, it's free. So I've got the Lucy show on Tuesday. I've got the kitchen sink on a Thursday. I've got this, obviously, the lovely Weekly Bazaar on a Friday, and then Big Will Small Talk, which is just as silly on Sundays, and they're all available through Joke Pit. If you found this through Joke Pit, then you'll be able to find my shows. But I look forward to the silliness every Friday because it is. Like we've said before, that you can look out the window or you can turn the news on if you want to be sad and scared by what's happening in the media. We provide that bit they're missing.
Yes.
You can watch the news. You can sit and go on Twitter and look at the mess that's there, or you can sit and watch us on the Weekly Bazaar, have some fun. Yeah. Maybe watch Shane drop trow. I don't know, maybe.
So come on then, Donkey Kong, what happened with you?
Well, apart from taking far too much cocodamol, I'm about to go on to another live show, actually, in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking to about 7 guests on the Icecast Live of the new Sentinel comic. So we've got writers, artists, all that sort of stuff.
That's going to
we'll see what happens.
One.
Yeah, 7 guests. It's going to be very, it's going to be like herding cats, but it's going to be fun.
Speaking of, herding guests onto shows. I think it's about time we started having guests on this show. What do you reckon? Making a four.
I think we could do that. We could do that, couldn't we?
I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have any more than 4 because it really just put a strain on StreamYard. Good luck, Shane.
Well, we're 4 every time on the one. I mean, I love our trio. I love what we do. But Andy, if you're watching, get in touch afterwards. We'll get you on the show. We've got lots going on USUK. I would like to remind people of the great shows that we've got here on our network, our beautiful network. We have USUK Chronicles, which is hosted by Tom Stevens and Jamie Westwood. We have USUK What's the Difference, which is hosted by myself, Tom Bruno, and Kenny Aldrich. We've just spoken to an actual rock god, Darren Miller from CKY. We also have The Weekly Bazaar with me, Shane Chebsey and Lucy, what you're watching right now. And every Wednesday at 9 p.m. now, we have Wednesday Night Live, which is hosted by either Tom Bruno or Tom Stevens. We've got lots going on, guys. Lots going
baby.
on. And we will a couple of last comments here. Andy says it's a great episode. I love it. We love you too. Thank
you, Andy.
Jesus, Shane, you're an animal.
Jesus.
A fucking kangaroo.
Jesus. And Drew Peacock says, great show. Good night, guys. Good night to you,
Drew.
guys. We will catch you on the flip side. We love you. Peace out.